I was pretty surprised to be advised that I was this year's awardee because the story didn't actually start that well for me. I became interim president of UH about 4 years ago, and almost immediately it was made clear to me in some pretty painful ways by some people who are here today that UH had not stepped up to the plate, that we were not doing what we needed to do on Title IX, Violence Against Women Act, and generally making our campuses safe for everyone. And taking this out of the realm of compliance, we simply weren't engaged in a meaningful way in forward progress in this important area. We had critics everywhere on our campuses, in the community, at the legislature. The federal government had opened a compliance investigation on one of our campuses. And when I looked at it, the sad thing was I couldn't argue that the criticism was undeserved. There was painful rhetoric out in the wild nationally suggesting that college campuses are the most dangerous place for a young woman. And I can't speak for every college campus. I don't believe that was true or is true for our UH campuses at all. But regardless, college campuses should strive to be much safer than the communities around us. We should actually be havens for everyone, especially someone who may be at risk at home, and especially someone for whom higher education represents an escape and a pathway to a better future. And that goes way beyond the check-the-box compliance. It's really about creating safe and healthy, nurturing environments for everyone to thrive. So this became a top 3 issue for me almost right away. I won't mention the other 2. But I was not an expert at it, and I'm still not. Probably the most important thing that I had to do as a leader, or as I guess I was just referred to as a high muckety-muck, was to commit, to make a difference, and to mean it, and to show I meant it. And that meant being visible, being present, being transparent about what we were doing, and frankly, what we weren't doing. I did not have the answers, but being at a university, I know what to do in that situation. You form a committee. And I was very fortunate that we had some really smart people around the university who knew what needed to be done. And so my part was really to listen to them, to provide some small bits of guidance as they did their work. And once people believed we were really serious, it became easier to make progress. Our regents agreed to participate in training, as did all of our senior leadership across the entire university system. We updated and continue to update our policies. We became more visible and engaged in the community, including agreeing to sponsor this a few years ago. And Jairus, thank you for helping bring this to our attention. We began to be welcomed in, I would say, rooms where UH was the bad guy. And we got very strong support from the legislature once they believed we were serious about doing what we needed to do. I even got to join a phone call with Vice President Biden, who interestingly has embraced this as a personal issue, and he continues to advocate on behalf of safer campuses and stopping sexual violence. We reorganized ourselves, including establishing a new system-wide Office of Institutional Equity, Jen Rose, to create synergies and economies of scale across our campuses on all the islands. We staffed up on our campuses to make sure we had the programs in place that were both required but also necessary. And we entered into community partnerships that are amazing on multiple islands to leverage resources that we don't have available and we don't need to duplicate. So thanks to our partners, many of whom are here today, the Domestic Violence Action Center, the Hawaii State Coalition Against Domestic Violence, Child and Family Services, the YWCA, different partners on different islands have really helped us protect our students and our faculty across the state. And maybe most importantly, we conducted training, and more training. This doesn't come natural to people necessarily, and we had literally hundreds of sessions with faculty, staff, students, administrators, including having to train professionals who were taking on new roles across all of our campuses that we hadn't been doing before. Now we have online training for students and online training for our faculty staff as well, so we don't have to wait for an in-person session. And we just conducted a campus climate survey, probably the most comprehensive one we've ever done. And while I look forward to seeing the results, I also look at that with some trepidation, because I know I will see things I wish I didn't have to see. But of course, if we don't assess where we are, then we won't be able to know if we're making progress with the programs and assistant. We know that as we do this work, we will see an increase in reported incidents. Some will decry that as an increase in sexual violence on our campuses. But throughout the country, we know that what happens is when you pay attention to a problem and begin to measure it, and you begin to do your jobs well, people increase the number of reports. And that doesn't always mean there are more incidents. Often it means that we have begun to establish trust and that members of our community believe that we really are there to help them and that we are a source of assistance that they can trust. And people will believe that sharing their experiences can contribute to making our campuses safer for all. In fact, at this point, I believe that if we don't see an increase in reported incidents, then we're probably doing something wrong. So this is a journey for us that is by no means complete, a journey that's now being complicated by a major shift in direction in the federal government, which has already begun with the withdrawal of the 2011 guidance that we had been working with as we were establishing our programs. But throughout the journey, we have already become a safer institution, a better institution, and at this point, even if the federal government doesn't force us to do anything, we will remain steadfast in our commitment to be safe for everyone who crosses our doors. So on behalf of everyone at UH, in the community, and at the legislature who helped us improve, mahalo nui loa, thanks to my colleagues who really deserve this award. We will not let you down. And to the young people who are here today, let me just say, we have a UH campus for each and every one of you when you're ready to enroll in our community colleges or our 3 great universities. And one last thing, go Bows!
Thank you so much, President Lassner.